If you don't think much of the King of Bahrain, maybe it's better to keep it to yourself, or else you could face 7 years in prison thanks to some new legislation to defend the monarchy. Previously, the punishment was a few days in jail, but now any Twitter post, Facebook comment, or even casual disparaging word could land you a hefty term. For more on this, I'm joined live by Rodney Shakespeare, chair of the Committee Against Torture in Bahrain. Thanks for joining us. So, protests in the country have been unrelenting for almost 3 years now. So wasn't a toughening of the laws there to be expected?
The Al Khalifa are pompous, preening twerps, but it's worse than that. They're known to have gross table manners, and some of them have offensive personal habits. Their power comes as a result of poison gas, lead shot, imprisonment, torture, and bullets. But there's no loyalty given by anyone to the Al Khalifa, not even from their own sycophants and placemen. We are getting out information that tells us that everybody now wants them out. But the Al Khalifa are trying to perfume their monarchy by giving itself some of the aura of what the British monarchy used to have when it was high treason to commit adultery with, say, the consort or the son or daughter of the monarchy. But of course today that's all gone. The Al Khalifa are now out in the open for what they are. They're a lot of smelly scum. In this country, public opinion always gives a high percentage to the British monarchy. It goes up and down. In Bahrain, they wouldn't dare take a genuine opinion poll because it would be naught with even their own side in private telling the truth. So this is the latest thing by an out-of-date monarchy. They are scum.
I should say it's probably a good thing then that you're not in Bahrain saying this, or you could face apparently some stiff jail time. So how do you think the law would impact the situation in the country? How do you think it will impact the activists on the streets?
Well, it actually won't make any difference. They're already subject to poison gas, lead shot, torture and imprisonment. Bahrain produces on the streets the highest proportion of the population, given it's only a small place, of almost any country in the world, and that includes Iran, when you get huge democratic demonstrations. So it will not impact. The only thing it will do is to make the Khalifa regime even more ridiculous, even more pompous, even more self-preening, and even more smelly.
I'm finding it, I apologize, hard to keep a straight face with some of your commentary, but does the fact that the government is bringing in such harsh penalties, what does it tell you about the way they feel on the throne, about how stable they feel as a monarchy?
Well, they're endeavouring to create that aura that the British monarchy had and that Louis XIV had prior to the French Revolution. They think that by making these condign penalties, sending a Twitter which the king reads, and then calling that virtual high treason, they think that in some way their power will increase. It won't. It will only make them more and more ridiculous. So I'm afraid from the point of view of the Khalifa, this is something in the last stages of their power before they get overthrown. In particular, they get overthrown by members of their own side.
All right, we have to leave it there. Rodney Shakespeare, not mincing any words, chair of the Committee Against Torture in Bahrain. Thanks for your time.